Welcome to F-Zero GX for the Nintendo GameCube, released in 2003 by Nintendo and, oddly enough, Sega as well. This is my favorite game in the F-Zero franchise, and I've spent more time than I can even remember on this wonderful game. It's so much fun, and I'm going to do it the best justice I can by playing on Master Difficulty. First up is the Ruby Cup, the first of 5 Grand Prix, and for all 5 of these, I'm going to be using custom machines. So this first one I've got here is called the Giant King V. Sadly, the game doesn't let you name your custom cars. It takes the names of the parts and combines them into a single name. It's rather silly if you ask me. Anyways, course 1 is Mute City Twist Road, and boy, am I glad to be playing this game. I love it so much. So you can see that we have the machine setting screen here. That bar graph will actually show your acceleration, basically, as I move it into the correct spot I want it to be in. And we have a little course intro here. Now you'll notice that it says 3 laps down there in the bottom right. All courses are 3-lap courses. You never race more than 3 laps per race. So I don't see why it needs to be displayed there. And we're off. F-Zero GX functions a whole lot like F-Zero X, but it's a lot more smooth. As you can see, the graphics are beautiful. We have an absurdly long pit area. And I just performed a side attack. The side attack works a little differently now. As you can see, if you place this correctly, you can take out a racer in 1 hit. Expect me to use that a lot. Oh, look at the speed. This is absolutely gorgeous. So, Twist Road's not very difficult to get a handle on. It somewhat reminds me of Figure 8 from F-Zero X, but it's not exactly the same. You just, you gotta pace your boosts a little bit between the pit area, because after you leave it on the 2nd lap, it's going to be a little while before you return to it on the final lap. But since it's the final lap, go ahead and boost like crazy until the end. Now you got to be careful on the loop there, because if you hit the wall incorrectly, it's very possible that the physics engine will go all wonky and throw you off. But that didn't happen, as I have taken 2nd place because the guy in 1st was a total dick and didn't let me pass him. Horrible person. Oh well, we'll get him in the next race, believe me. Next up is a whole new setting. It's Casino Palace Split Oval. I really like Casino Palace as a setting because, you know, when we get into the race here, you're going to see it's full of a bunch of gigantic roulette wheels and stacks of poker chips. I think they're going a little over the top with this, but I like it that way. I really like this casino atmosphere here. Oh, and the music is gorgeous. Did I mention I love this game's soundtrack? Anyways. As if the Ruby Cup were supposed to be some sort of F-Zero X throwback, this actually reminds me of the first Silence course from F-Zero X as well. Aside from the split in the oval here. When you get to that little fork in the road, on the 1st lap you want to take the right path because that has dash plates, and the left path, excuse me there. The left path has a pit area. So if you take the right path on the 1st lap, you're effectively getting as much boost from the dash plates as you would if you boosted through the pit area on the left. And right there, that specific area, if you are going too fast there, you will actually go flying off the course. It didn't happen to me there because I slowed down at the right time. Speedrunners have turned that to their advantage, but I typically fall off completely when I go there. Am I going to pass this guy? Yes, I am. I got 1st place. Music to my ears. Funny story, Casino Palace is called Vegas Palace in, I think, Japan and possibly Europe as well. But it had to be changed for the American release because we all know Las Vegas would throw a fit. You know how Americans are with their copyrights. Next up is Sand Ocean, and I am actually legitimately excited about this because I love what they did with Sand Ocean in GX. Though I am going to want to lower my max speed a little bit because this course is, it's not my favorite course. It's got a couple things wrong with it, but I just love the background. Pay close attention. Oh, and that's beautiful right there, that little pyramid thing in the cave there. I can see the rival car like 2 spaces ahead of us here. Let's see if we can get him. Ha! Got him! I love the side attack. The spin attack is cool too. I'm going to be using both of those a lot. Hey, look, another rival car. Well, I almost got him. The computer is, they don't cheat anymore, obviously, or otherwise I wouldn't be kicking butt here. That's the spin attack. It looks a little strange considering that my machine is circular. It's almost like I stuck a booster to a Beyblade. Oh well. There's the rival. Now, if you haven't caught on to this yet, there is only one pit area on this course, and there is a very long stretch between one pit area and the next, considering that there's only one. So you've got to pace your boosts. You got to pace your boosts between laps, right? But while you're like being conservative, the enemies are going to be like boosting way ahead of you all the time. So let's fix that by destroying them. You probably noticed by this point, but every time I destroy another person's machine, I get a little bit of energy back. So you can kind of turn that to your advantage if you just destroy people a lot. Fortunately, I am that kind of a person. Murder! Now, I don't think I caught it on this run, but if you pay attention to the background, you will see, and I am not kidding, a giant sand snake eating a small sand fish. It's just so cool. Death to all rivals. Oh, I didn't kill him there. He's almost dead, though. You can see that his machine is smoking. In addition to flashing red. And there's the giant sand snake. Woohoo! I don't know, it just looks cool. They did so much cool stuff with this game. It's hard to believe that this is like, well, this isn't the final F-Zero game in the franchise. There's still 2 more after this, but you know, those were in like 2003, 2004. It's been 8 years since this game came out. Ah, well, enough complaining. Next up is Lightning, another new setting. Lightning, Loop Cross, well, Lightning in general. I don't like Lightning in general because all of the courses are kind of, well, there's one Lightning course that I like, but that won't be for a while. So that's the perfect camera angle for showing what Loop Cross is all about. I don't like Loop Cross all that much. I find it's difficult to take first on Master difficulty. So I compensate for this by destroying as many people as I can. There is so much destruction going on here. As soon as I get my boost, that is. And there's a random dirt pit over to the left there. Did you see it? I don't see why it's there. It's not really going to hurt anybody at all. Here we have another fork in the road. Go left and then right on the first lap to get the boost plate, the dash plates, and then go right and then left on the subsequent laps to get the pit areas. And you can just mash the boost button throughout the pit area and you won't lose any energy for it, but there are certain courses where the pit area is small, such that if you boost through it, you actually won't fill up your entire energy meter by the time you've left the pit area. So that's something you have to watch for. Anyways, it's destruction time, and this custom machine I'm using doesn't really turn very well. So I have to using a spin attack seems to increase how sharp you're allowed to turn. And wow, that was epic. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't a double kill. I don't see why you care about double kills so much, but they look cool. You gotta give me credit for that. Now, in case you hadn't noticed, those little skull markers on the right there show how many people I've killed. A gold skull means 10. So, that's 11 people I've destroyed so far. I'm not going to catch up to the rival in first. This is a very tricky course to place first in, so destruction is the order of the day. Now, I haven't commented on this yet, but you see how there's that little incline in the middle of the course there? Wow, how did the guy in first get... Never mind. And you can see that there's a little dip in that part of the course, too. Those are prime locations for the physics engine to behave oddly and throw you off, but it doesn't happen often. Like, I'm gonna complain about the physics engine being strange, but... you just gotta be careful and you'll be alright. We've taken first. Of course, you knew I was going to take first because I wouldn't have uploaded this video otherwise. Aeropolis! This is my favorite course in the entire Ruby Cup and one of my favorites in the whole game. It's just, well, it's pretty technical. I don't really like the background because, you know, we're high, well, there is something that could be said about the setting because you know how F-Zero courses are like 10,000 feet in the air or whatever? If we're that high in the air and there are buildings around us, those are some pretty tall buildings. Hence, Aeropolis. What, did you think it got that name because of the jump plate there? Nah. I like this music too. You're gonna see when I spin around this turn here. Well, I got to that jump there a little slower than I usually do, but the music kind of seems to go with the course, kind of. You know. I don't know, Hey, look, dirt! That's some dirt, alright. I don't see why it's sitting in the middle of the course. That's not exactly... this part of the course is pretty wide, so I don't see how anyone's going to run into the dirt. And this course introduces us to landmines. You touch them once, they explode, and you take damage. But interesting thing to note is that if you hit a mine in the correct way, you know, just the right way, you will actually get a speed boost from it. And if you're on the first lap and you don't have access to your boost, strategically hitting the mines can actually be a valid strategy. And I think you actually need that in one of the story mode courses. Story mode. We'll get to that eventually, believe me. So, and other than that, using that, a lot of times I use the spin attack when going into a turn because, as I said, it sort of increases your ability to turn tight. Or maybe it's just a placebo. Now, when you go off that jump there, you actually can hit the bottom part of the path that's above you when you hit the jump. So, you know, that's annoying. You actually want to avoid that because it'll drop your speed a little bit. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, those buildings do in fact have collision detection. I have jumped off the course and rammed into one just to see. Now that's paying attention to detail. Nobody would want to hit the buildings because that would almost certainly result in a death. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to take first place. Looks like Captain Falcon is going to. Hooray! Oh! Never mind. So much for Captain Falcon's skill at F-Zero. His victory was just stolen from him. Not that he had a victory to begin with, because I win the whole Grand Prix anyways. Yay! I love this game. So that's the end of the Ruby Cup. We're going to do a victory lap, and we're going to see how many people we have murdered. They don't die, of course. Now, I should also mention that if you win a Grand Prix, you will actually be able to interview the pilot whose machine you are using. However, if you use a custom vehicle, you don't get that. You don't get the interview because, you know, I guess, you know, it's too easy to win with a broken custom vehicle. Now, if 14 people beaten and destroyed in one race, how do you like that? Now, if you win on Master Mode, you also get a character ending video, but again, you don't get that if you used a custom vehicle. So, I decided to edit in Biorex's ending for you all to enjoy. All of the ending videos are, you know, there's 41 characters. I'm just putting that out there, and they all have their own endings and interviews. No, it's just amazing how much effort they put into this game. Of course, the interviews themselves are a little underwhelming, but who cares? Now, for winning the Grand Prix, I earned tickets. Those are a sort of currency for purchasing unlockables, but I've unlocked everything anyways, so tickets are worthless to me. Let's see what Biorex's ending will give us. Sadly, it does not have Biorex binging on alcohol. Instead, he's going to binge on meat. Lizard Man would be proud. Oh, Biorex, you never disappoint.